Thank you, Mr. President. Mr. President, I'd like to start with a quote. The ears of the leader must ring with the voices of the people. Great president once said that. Mr. President, I rise today to make it clear to everyone in this chamber exactly why I cannot support this legislation. You've heard the chants outside this chamber, not just today and last night, but many times over the past 2 years. Thousands of people have shown up, union and non-union, men and women, mothers and fathers, brothers and sisters, even their children. These are the working families of Michigan. These are the thousands of people that I would sit here to represent. When I vote no, I'm voting no on behalf of the thousands of families. Who are you voting yes for? Grover Norquist? I know he sent you all a letter asking you to support this anti-worker legislation. You are voting yes because a handful of corporate lobbyists, a handful of fat cats in the back are telling you to. That's who you work for, the powerful few, the guys with top hats and monocles. You ought to be ashamed of yourself. I work for the people, for the many. I proudly represent them in casting this no vote. I'm doing what's right, what's good for the people. And I tell you this, Mr. President, we will fight you. We will not let this stand. We'll fight you from Kalamazoo to Timbuktu. We'll fight you from the streets and in the suites. We'll fight you in the penthouse and we'll fight you in the outhouse. And Mr. President, I'll tell you this right now, when it's all said and done, when it's all over, we will grab the thunderbolt of truth. We will grab the rod of revolution and we will have our victory. And the spoils will go to the working people of Michigan. And you will forever remember the day when you thought you could conquer labor. You were sorely mistaken. Be prepared to engage in the fight of your life. You might win this battle, but the wars are brewing, sir. The wars are brewing, sir. And we're coming, and we're taking no prisoners, and we're taking no quarter. And Mr. President, when all said is done, working men and women of this state will reign supreme. Thank you, and I ask that my comments be printed in the journal. Hello, and welcome to The Young Effect. I am your state senator, Coleman Alexander Young II, soon to be your next congressman of the 13th District. Always a pleasure to be here with you, broadcasting live from WHPR TV 33. As always, before we start, we want to honor our veterans. Those are our men and women who are fighting for us overseas. We want to honor those from fought for us in Iraq, those who continue to fight for us in Afghanistan and their families. We also want to honor our local heroes, our police officers, our firefighters, our emergency services personnel. We want to honor the men and women who put their lives on the line so we can enjoy the rights and the freedoms and the civil liberties we have right here in the good old US of A. So I just want to say thank you to them and everything that they do for us, everything they continue to do for us. And may God bless them. And anybody that's out there that's hurting, that feel that they've been forgotten, or feel that they're invisible, or feel that no one sees them. This one, I said, what I'm doing right now, I want to make sure that this episode that we have of this television show is dedicated to you and yours. Please join me for a moment of silence. All right, thank you so much for that. And with that being said, we're going to get right into it. If you got any calls, you got anything you got in the mind, it's open mic as always. We want to hear what you got to say, what's going on. We're going to get into it really quickly. We got anybody on the phones? Anybody out there on the phone right now? We don't have nobody on the phone. Yeah, we got someone on the phone? Okay. We got a phone call. I think we're going to have a phone call. Caller, you on the air. Welcome to The Young Effect.
Good afternoon, State Senator Coleman Young. How are you?
Hello?
Hello. Good afternoon.
Hello?
Hello.
All right, hold on for a minute. We having some technical difficulties. Let's make sure we get the sound going on here. Hello? Can you hear me?
Hello. Hello.
Yeah, what's going on? Hold on. We need to get the hold on just a minute. We don't have any sound real quick. Give us just a minute here. Hello?
Hello.
Yes, go ahead.
Yes. Good evening, State Senator Coleman Young. How are you?
Good.
That's wonderful. And I just want to say, they need to. You just went off of Comcast. There's completely no picture of you on Comcast right now.
Okay.
But anyway, I just want to. I'm the one that calls in and give out the job. But as well, Section 8, and I will probably have to call you back because it threw me off when, you went off the air. But anyway, I just want to just let everybody know, on March 16th, this Friday, at Dabo, that's at Grand River in Wyoming, they're having a program for DT Energy for the LS program. That's the low efficiency program for people who live up under the radar of poverty. You can go there and they will tell you how much you can spend per month. It's like a program that, or like the RAP program, and you pay so much less for your DT energy bill. That's your light and gas bill.
Okay.
So I just wanted to put that out there. And then also, like I said, Section 8 is have their openings, and I will call back with that website because it knocked me off. So I'm going to have to pull it back up, and I'll call back with that website. Okay.
Okay.
All right. Thank you for letting me announce that.
Well, listen, thank you. We appreciate you. We thank you so much for that. We're going to take a quick commercial break, and we'll be right back. Hold on for me. Oh, wait. No. Are we good? We're back. Are we good with TV? All right. Well, come on. Let's keep going then. We got another caller? I'm sorry. We got a whole bunch of stuff that's going on right now. And I'll try to make sure we keep this thing going like we're supposed to be going. We got another caller? Okay. But we're good? Okay. So listen, what I want to talk about today is I just want to say, first of all, I want to go over what happened this week. So we were going this week. We went out to we gone to a couple forums this week. I don't know if you heard. I was on this Thursday with Mildred Gaddis talking about the 13th district. I think it went incredibly well. And when you're out here in these forums, you're doing these things, and you're talking about this stuff, you have to make sure that, one, that you're prepared, that you know what you're talking about, you know what you want to say, or at least I try to the best of my ability. And I think that I did pretty well.
Hi.
I think that
you've reached 3.
Did pretty well. I think we did everything that we needed to do in order to get this going. So this is really good. I also think, however, though, what we need to start talking about is, or at least what I want to start talking about primarily when running for Congress, and we got to start talking about who has the best record, who has served the longest. This is a law-making profession. We need people in there that's actually made some laws. And I got a 12-year record of doing that. I've made 11 laws. I've made more laws than anybody else in this race. And I got the most relevant experience out of anybody in this race. And that's what I was trying to hit on when I was at the Mildred Gaddis forum and when I was at the recent forum with Union Radio. Shout out to everybody from Union Radio out there. That was pretty good. And we talked about the issues. I thought it was good overall. I think, though, that we also have to understand that this is a congressional race. And we're running to be the congressperson. We're not running to be state rep or state senator. We're running for the congressional race. And when you're doing that, these are the things that have to happen. You gotta have a plan and a platform that deals with actually what you're gonna do on the federal level. And we need somebody with experience in order to get this done, but who has been a change agent. And I've done that for a very long time. And I'm going to continue to do that. And I think my experience, and I hope that my experience showed, and that what I was talking about when I was talking to the issues and talking directly to the people, I think that showed. Um, I think what we need to start doing, and what I want to do when I'm a congressperson, is first of all, we need to fix these roads. I don't know if you've been driving along some of these roads. These potholes are crazy. I mean, we've been swerving a lot of these potholes. It's insane. We need to have more money in the federal budget in terms of roads and road funding. One, I think we need to utilize more public-private partnerships. I also think that we need to start investing more in terms of the Transportation Innovation Financial Improvement Act. And I also think we need to start doing a better job of using our infrastructure banks. These are things we can appropriate more money to areas in terms of what's going on in terms of our bad roads right now. Especially after we know in Michigan with the snow, the way it's being, and with climate change, you know what I'm saying? These roads are absurd. And that's really why climate change is so important. And people say, well, people don't really get excited about climate change. They may not get excited about climate change, but they definitely get excited about potholes and roads. And when that snow melts into the roads, it makes these potholes that everybody's going to have to pay for. And so, and putting people at risk. I mean, you got folks go driving 50, 60, 70 miles an hour on the road, and you got this crater in the middle of the street. Look, I think the amount of folks that have gone to auto body shops have gone up by 30% in this state. 30%. That's serious. And that's why I'm running for Congress, because we need to make sure that we do a better job of investing our federal gas and weight tax when it comes to our roads. And all the roads that we have here in Michigan, in terms of the state roads, are federally owned roads. So it's very important in terms of what we're doing and how, in terms of highway roads, are very important. And so that's why I'm running. I'm also running because I believe that our children should have the best education. I believe that we should have universal pre-K. That's very important. The mind of the child develops the most between 0 and 3 years old. We also need to invest more in something that's called qualified area academy or qualified school academy bonds. And those are basically, qualified zone academy bonds. And basically, this is money for schools in more low-income, poor areas to be able to rebuild our school system. Because our children should not be educated in squalor, but in splendor. And that's why I want to run for be your next congressman. So we can fix our schools and put our people back to work. And it's not going to cost you any more taxpayer dollars to do it. I think the other thing we need to start doing is, I think in terms of schools and education, and we also need to make sure that we appropriate more money to the school system. That's something that's very vital right now. And we also need to change the compatibility rule, which basically incentivizes paying teachers more money who teach out of high areas or high risk, high need areas, instead of paying them more money to teach in high risk areas. We need to increase the categorical funds. That's more money for schools that are at high risk. We also need to invest more in Head Start for our children. And for higher education, there's no reason why we live in the wealthiest country on earth and why we don't have tuition-free college. And we can pay for that by levying a tax on Wall Street speculators that will generate $171 billion. These are things that we can do, things that we should do. You should not be saddled with hundreds of thousands of dollars worth of debt just because you're trying to pursue your college education and your dream as an American. And that's really what this is. It is taking away the American dream from the American people. And it's wrong. And let me say this too. Time out for shipping jobs overseas and giving those same corporations tax breaks. We need to stop giving tax breaks to companies that ship our jobs overseas and start taxing companies that ship our jobs overseas. This is outrageous. That's what I'm running. That's what I'm doing this for. We got the callers? Caller, you on the air. Welcome to the Young Effect.
Hello, Mr. Young.
Hey, how you doing, Eastside lady?
Oh, I'm doing pretty good. I feel a whole lot better than I did the other day. You know, I've been out calling people and talking to people for you because you're going to win this race. You know, we got enough crooks sitting up here in the city of Detroit. We don't need anybody else to come in here and take over anything. We had more money. We had more everything when your father was in office because he took care of everybody. He didn't take care of just a race of people. He took care of black, white, yellow, anything that was in the city of Detroit. Your dad took care of them. He fought for everybody in the city of Detroit. We got people sitting
That's
in
what
here.
I'm fighting for.
We got people sitting in here voting for one race of people so they could take all the money, take everything that's in the city of Detroit. I was born here in the city of Detroit. I hear these people get on there saying, well, you know, I've been living over here all my life in this area, and we've been doing this, and we've been doing. I was born in 1936 on January the 27th. I'm 82 years old. I have never left Detroit to go anyplace. And these fools that run this television show, and I'm talking about Mr. Jones, since he talked about me the other day, I'm talking about him. Why don't you go back home where your mama's at and help her out?
Whoa. We don't want to talk about other people. We especially not trying to talk about Mr. Look, this is a forum and a place for people to be able to talk about the issues of the day and what they want to talk about. But you cannot use this as a back channel to be attacking one another. Now, y'all got your own shows. If you got a problem with that person, go talk to that person. I don't understand what this is. Where people will talk about other, and I wasn't going to address this today. I really wasn't. But, you know, where you got people on television shows that won't talk about other people. And look, me personally, when people talk about me, it really don't bother me one way or the other. But if you got a problem with somebody, go talk to that person. This is a small community, y'all. It's not like we all that hard to find. Everybody knows I'm here every Sunday, or as many Sundays as I can be, at 4 o'clock. Telling you the business and the truth every day. Everybody got other shows. Call in and talk to them. But, you know, callers disrespected other callers, or callers talk about other hosts. And even if you want to call in on my show and talk to me directly and say something negative, I'm open. I may not be open for very long because I'm paying for the time. And there's only so many times I'm going to be called out my name when I'm paying for it. And it's not like you see a whole bunch of other people up here running for office or not that are here doing this. So, look, at some point in time, we have got to start talking to each other it's okay to disagree without being disagreeable. It's okay to talk to somebody and say what you mean, but don't use my show as an outlet to solve your problems. in terms of with each other. That's not what this show is for. It's not. All right? And there's too many issues we got going on right now that we need to deal with as Americans, as black folks. So let's deal with that. Let's talk about that. It's okay to tell the truth with somebody, but do it with compassion and consideration and respect. All right. I'm done. Put it back on. Hello?
But as long as it happens, tell him to stop saying anything about me.
Talk to him about that.
That's what I mean. He ain't letting me do that.
Oh, okay. Well, you know.
He's not letting me do that. If he would let me do that, I most certainly would, because I stopped doing that quite some time ago. But I've been sick for 3 months. I don't ask nobody for nothing. I don't bother nobody. I call in and voice my opinion about what we need to do about in the city of Detroit.
I don't know
now,
what...
he loves them people. That's his business.
I don't know what he said.
But don't do that to me. You don't know me.
Let me say this real quick, Eastside.
You don't know me.
I don't know what he said. I don't know what he did. I know I love you, Eastside. And I know I've always loved you. We may not always see you. I respect
everybody on that show, even people that I don't like. I respect them.
I think it's sad
I have running from my buddies, and we have big parties to make sure that people have something in the city of Detroit. Ain't nobody sent me a card for being
whatever
sick.
It is he
I don't
said
bother nobody.
that you got that made you this upset. Because there's no reason why you should be this angry. You've been calling on to this show, I'm sure, probably since it began. And
I'm this angry because I never bother anybody. They can talk about me all they want. But if they don't want to be talked about, don't say nothing about me from now on.
I agree.
Because you don't know what in the heck I know about you.
This ain't a conflict resolution.
I don't leave the city of Detroit. There's no place else to live.
This ain't a conflict management center.
I stand here, born here, go die here. And I'm going to stay here. And if you decide to talk about me again, go right ahead, because I know quite a bit about yourself, too.
Well, look, I love you.
Go right up ahead, because I know somebody else going to let me talk about you. And I'm going to tell them just what you are and just what you do. And I'm sorry, Mr. Young. It will never happen on your program again, because you haven't did anything but try to help everybody in the city of Detroit. But when they got enough nerve to talk about me, never been in my house, never been no place around me, gossip about people, do anything they want about people, but we can't say nothing about them. Don't say nothing about me.
All right. Well, you
don't say a darn thing about me, because you don't know a darn thing about me.
All right, Inside. Well, look, we love you.
And I'm sorry that this happened, but if you say anything about me again, I had to pay some money to get on television and talk to you. I'll find me some money to talk about that sucker.
All right.
Thanks for taking my call, and good night.
We appreciate love you, because she get ready to get Brother Bay to get the beat button out. Hello. We got the caller.
Hi, good evening. How are you?
Good. How you doing?
I'm doing fine. Yeah, I'm sorry about that interruption. You was on a roll, and that's what we wanted to hear. You are going to win. I'm praying. I'm a praying lady. I'm praying for you that you will get where you need to get.
Yes.
This is your time. You're going to fit right in that slot.
That's right.
Oh, yeah, and I just want to say that and you keep up the good work. You was on the roll. What we really want to hear you say, but I'm sorry, the East Side lady. You know, but that's okay. And I love her. We about the same age too.
Yeah.
But I'm the type of person, I like to clear up things if I hear.
Well, obviously, whatever.
That's all I'm going to say.
Love you.
Jones did not disrespect her. No, he didn't. I'm gonna say that. She misunderstood him that day. East Side, you misunderstood him. I heard it.
All right.
Maybe it wasn't coming out clear, East Side. No, he didn't disrespect you.
Well, thank you.
When you thought you heard what he said, you kind of went off, and he had to let you go. That's what that was now.
Well, thank
you.
So,
Eastside, no. I love you, Eastside. We need to talk sometime. I need to give you I'm going to leave my number to the station. Eastside, call me. This is going.
Don't leave it on the
show. Thank you so much, Colma. I'm praying that you will get there. And my granddaughter had to go home. She didn't come today. She said, but make sure you tell Cindy Tacoma Young that I said hi.
Most certainly will.
The little girl that called you last week, Caitlin.
We most certainly will.
Take care, and I love you, and I'm vouching for you. I'm praying for you, and I do believe all is well. Thank you.
Love you. Appreciate you.
Yeah. And let me just say this too. Let me just say, first of all, you know, my mother said something to me one time. I constantly remember she says that the hurt is on the burden of hurt is on the person who was hurt by it, not the person who was doing the hurting. So I definitely think that that's a conversation that Eastside gonna have to have with Mr. Jones. I know Mr. Jones. I love and respect Mr. Jones. I'm not trying to talk about anybody or get involved in anything. That's a conversation between those two. I just know that I talk to Eastside Lady a lot, and I heard her speak a lot. It's rare she's that upset. You know, she's that hurt. You know what I mean? You know, and people, you know, you see Eastside Lady, you'll come on here and, you know, give people the business every Sunday. And I can kind of tell when she's just giving somebody the business and when she's giving somebody the business from a place of hurt and a place of pain. Because she used to give it to me all the time. I used to be the victim of that quite a bit. So I can kind of tell in her voice when she's just angry about an issue and when she's personally in pain. And I think she's personally in pain. And whether or not somebody did it or not, I think it's a responsibility, a burden upon us as adults and as people of faith or just good people, period, who want to make sure that we right whatever wrong or whatever transgression we may or may not have, you know, committed towards somebody. She's an elder, but more importantly, she's a human being. And we want to start respecting people. And we want to start coming from a place of respect. And if you can't come from a place of love, at least come from a place of respect. At least come from a place of respect or compassion or at least just understanding. Just understanding. Now listen, this ain't a conflict management show. And I'm sure definitely not a therapist or, you know, here to resolve anything. Nor is that what my role is trying to be. But I just want to make everyone know that those are conversations that we need to have off television. Camera ain't the place to be doing that. All right. Before I go with another caller, I also just want to say, these are the laws that I've passed. Nice little segue there. I've created over 10,000 jobs through movie tax credits. I've helped people stay in their houses to reduce their property taxes through EDZs or neighborhood enterprise zones. I've regulated the medical marijuana industry, passed legislation involving energy cost recovery, passed historic civil rights legislation, making sure that pregnant women receive mandatory paid leave. And I have passed legislation making sure that we get rid of blight in terms of signage or penalize those who put signage and use and blight the community. And I passed legislation to regulate the medical marijuana industry. I think I already said that. And I've also appropriated over $300 million to the state of Michigan. $2 million to keep Focus Hope open. $550,000 to Charles H. Wright Museum. $6.8 million for low-income energy and heating assistance, which allows the state to draw down over $300 million from the federal government. So in the words of the Honorable Coleman Alexander Young, I bring home the bacon. I'm getting the job done, and I work. Everybody else talking about what they gonna do. I'm telling you what I've done. And this is a law-making job. We need somebody in Congress that's actually made some laws. We got another caller? Coleman Young is that man. So Coleman Young for Congress. Hello?
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 Yeah, is this Coleman Young?
Yep.
All right, Ma, you on the phone? Hey.
Hey.
Yes, Mother Gaskin.
Hey, Mother Gaskin.
Yeah, we just reminding you about Friday, One Life, One Hope.
I'm going to be there.
All right, all right.
I got it on my calendar.
Okay, we look forward to seeing you. God bless you and your wonderful mother.
Explain what that is, Mother Gaskin. I got it.
Cheryl, explain what that is.
What? Oh, go ahead, Ma. You do it.
Okay. It's a time where we come together with the gaming division, policemen, and just give them be encouraged and encourage them, serve them a lunch. And my son, Gregory Sr., was a policeman. And when he died in 2000, we just went in and said, thank you for being such a family and rallying around when he was ill. And so since then, we just can't seem to end it because we just keep, going in and saying thank you again for being who you are and encouraging them to be safe and keep going.
Okay.
Is that it? Is that it?
Yes.
And we're encouraging you to keep going. And,
how long you been doing it?
Since 2001.
Oh, wow. Since 2001. Amazing.
Yes, sir. And every year we almost end. We've come down a little bit. Some of the family members are gone, and his sons are graduated from college and he's done a wonderful job. And we just encourage all the officers, all of them, to just keep doing a great job and stay on the right side of the road.
Okay.
Respect one another.
Fantastic.
Okay? Gotcha.
Love you. Thank you so much, Mother Gaskin.
Okay. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Caller, you on the air?
Hi, this is Kathy.
Hey, Kathy. What's going on?
Nothing's going on. I know, just wanted to see how everything is going. I just appreciate you running for the congressional seat, the 13th district. Is there a number? I don't know if you're still collecting signatures for your petitions, but is there a number that we can call if we wanted to sign your petitions?
Yeah, you can call 313-675-7960. That's 313-675-7960. 313-675-7960. That's 313-675-7960.
Okay, thank you. I just wanted to see if you were still looking for signatures.
Yes, we are.
All right, great. Well, thank you for giving me the number. I just appreciate you. I've seen a lot of chatter on Facebook about the different forums. Unfortunately, I haven't been able to attend any of them. However, I've been hearing that you have been really a great representative for us. I saw it on Facebook about the one at the Charles H. Wright Museum. And it just seems as though that you are just way above the fray when it comes to speaking about the laws and what you've done compared to everyone else. I mean, I just don't understand what everyone else is seeing, but I see nothing but a congressional person in you. And I just appreciate you doing everything that you're doing to represent us in D.C.
Well, thank you so much. I appreciate that, and thank you for saying that.
All right. Thank you for taking my call again. I will call the number so I can sign your petition. Thank you.
Well, thank you. I look forward to that. Please do. We're working out the details in terms of our office right here at WHPR, so I'll definitely let you know and get you more information about that in the future days to come.
Thank you much.
Thank you, Kathy.
Bye-bye.
Always a pleasure. Always
Bye-bye.
good to hear from you. Love you. Now we got another caller. This is a lawmaking profession, and I have made laws. And we need somebody in his job that's actually going to make some laws. You got another caller? Hello?
Hey, Coleman.
Hey.
Hey, you know who this is?
Who is this?
Asia.
Oh, hey, Asia. What's going on?
Hey.
Well, I just wanted to say that I worked hard with you for you to become mayor. We shook up the whole city. Everybody know you, and I'm also working for you to become the next congressman, and you will win. All right.
Well, thank you.
Thank you. All right.
Appreciate
Hey, my
you.
man.
Love you. Thank you so much.
Hey, Asia.
You know
Love
what?
you too.
No, you can't
Love
be
you,
in the
Asia.
shots.
Thank you for rounding up all the millennials for
Yeah, we
us.
appreciate. This is my youth coordinator right here that I'm talking to everybody. Thank you so much. We just love you. We appreciate you. You were so great with us for mayor, and I know we're going to do better with this congressional run. So I thank you so much. Okay, we got another caller? Okay, and so like I was saying, listen, that's what I support. And I also think it's very important that we hold China, which is a currency manipulator, accountable. Listen, there have been over 63,000 jobs, 1,000 factories that have been closed, and over 6.1 million jobs lost due to our trade policies and due to currency manipulation. I think that's why this is so very important. And I'm also going to go to a little bit in terms of what's going on in terms of steel and the overcapacity of steel onto the market. Ever since China has joined the World Trade Organization, I think it represents 143 different member countries. America has lost over 2 million jobs. It is costing us jobs and opportunities because what they're doing is they are taking steel that they're overproducing because it costs less for them to put steel in the market than it does for us here for the cost of materials here. They take that steel and they dump it on the open market, and then people buy that steel instead of buying American-made steel because they constantly manipulate their currency in order for that steel to be cheaper. And you got to remember, a lot of the organizations, a lot of the companies, steel companies in China are state-owned organizations. So they're getting all kind of illegal subsidies to be able to put their overcapacity of steel onto the market. That's why Donald Trump decided to raise these tariffs, which is basically a tax or a duty on certain imported foreign goods. And the reason why you do that, you put a tariff on an imported foreign good, so it raises the cost of that good, and that way the same good that's made domestically or made in America will be cheaper, and therefore there'll be an incentive for people in America to buy those American-made goods. That's why you have the tariffs that we have now. I don't like the way he did it. I don't like the fact that he didn't talk to other member countries. Now they're talking about that they're going to exempt or carve out Canada, which is our number one trading partner here, especially right here when we have the Ambassador Bridge, which is from Canada to the United States, which I think is responsible for like 25% of the world of the United States trade. So this is something that's very important to us, and I think but I think it'll be careful because they're saying it's going to raise prices on the cost of buying steel, which means it could raise prices. There was a recent, I think it was like a Council of Foreign Relations, I believe, that put out a study that said it might cost 46,000 auto jobs, which is the problem. But I personally think that what they're doing to the economy is wrong. And if we were to fix our trade deficit or close our trade deficit, you're talking about $720 billion of gross domestic product. That's goods and services that are on the market. You're talking about over potentially 5.8 to 6 million jobs created. And you're also talking about $266 billion in tax revenue that we would receive. That's a lot of money we're leaving on the table here, folks. Got some calls? Caller, you on the air. Welcome to the Young Effect.
Coleman?
Yeah.
Hey, Senator Coleman, how are you doing?
Good. How are you doing?
Good. This is Billy Jones, with my show Talk B. Jones.
Hey, Mr. Jones.
Hey, how you doing, my buddy?
Always good to hear from you, brother.
Hey, listen, I'm not going to take your time, but I just want to let you understand this. And, you know, I love you.
Yeah.
I support you.
Yeah.
And whatever persons have to say good or bad about me, I've learned I got to eat it.
Yeah.
I won't dignify it, but I just want to let you know I love you. I talk for you, and you kiss your mother hello for me, okay?
And let me just say this, since you on the air, I love you too.
Thank you,
and I appreciate you, and I appreciate you, brother. And I'm not trying to criticize anybody. I just want to make sure that people talk about that off the show. I don't want to use this as a show or a forum to be dissing other people or dissing other, or hosts. You know, if you got a problem, or if I do something to somebody,
that cannot get across to anyone, that you just eat it and let it go.
Yeah.
And that's why I'm just eating it, and I'll let it go because that comes with the territory. And the only thing that's important is that for you and for your listening audience and for the people to support you to know that they will never, ever have a problem from Billy Talk B. Jones concerning you, because the process is that we have to move forward. I am in the process of moving forward in a positive vein to explain to folks why there is nobody else that's qualified to be in that congressional seat except for Senator Coleman Young. That's all. And so, Coleman, Senator, you go ahead and handle your business. I just want to let you know that's how I am, and I'm not going to get into no dirt with nobody.
We love you. We appreciate you, Mr. Jones. We love you.
Oh, Lord,
yeah. That's my mama. That's my mama right here.
And I want to let you know that your mom is one of my great, great inspirations to how I try to do my thing on TV.
Yes. She everybody's inspiration.
Okay, brother. Go ahead and handle your business. Like I said, Talk B. Jones, that's my show. I'm able to speak my piece and make my voice heard, and I am a supporter of Senator Coleman Alexander Young.
And we support you right back.
Okay, brother. Love you. Take care now.
Love you too, brother. Thank you. Appreciate you. Call. We got another call. That was very nice. I just want to say thank you for the Mr. Talk B. Jones. We love him. We appreciate him. And let me just say this too. And I'm not trying to say this. If I hurt anybody or said something that was offensive, let me apologize and be the first one to say I'm sorry. That was not my intention. If you out there listening and you mad at me about something I said that was offensive, that was not my intention. Let me be the first to say an example of what we want to do and how we want to do in 2018. And I'm not trying to put this on anybody else. I'm just saying this for me personally. Because when I come out here and I say things, I know I can say things that are strong or say things that are aggressive. That's not my intention at all. All I really want to do is just serve the public and help people. That's why I got in this business in the first place, was to make, I know it might sound, corny, but I got in this business to make a difference. That's why I did it. That's why I first ran. I saw the conditions of the people, of what my people were living in, and I ran to make things better. I may not have always done the right thing or said the right thing, but I had the right intentions. And all the decisions that I made, there is a underlying reason of why I did it. And everybody may or may not see it or may not agree with it. But I felt that it was best at that time to do what was right. All right, we got another caller? Okay, so that's what it is. So we got that done. Listen, I also want to say this too. And I think this is something that's critical that we're not really talking about. But we also want to make sure that in Congress, we start talking more about the environment, particularly with climate change, like I was saying earlier. We need to have a cap and trade system. So that means where you have an emissions cap, and then once companies reach that cap, then they can start trading with each other in terms of different emissions goals and things of that nature for other companies to be incentivized to do the same thing. It's called cap and trade. That's something that I believe we need to do. We have one of the worst polluted environment. We have the worst polluted environment right over there in Southwest Detroit between Ecorse and River Rouge, the worst environmentally polluted area in the state and one of the worst in the country. There is no reason why in America you got folks that are fighting for the right to breathe clean air and drink clean water, and that's what we got every day. Every day. It's wrong. I don't understand it. I really don't. You cannot put profit over people. You cannot put cash over kids. And that's what we're doing. You know how many children have to walk around with breathing apparatuses around their mouth? I don't understand it. For us to realize that this is not right. I really don't. You cannot put profit over people. Hold on for a minute. We having some feedback. Over kids. We having some feedback right now. And that's what we're doing. So if you hearing that, that's just me having some feedback. You know how many children have to walk around with breathing apparatuses around their mouth? I don't understand it. For us to realize. Okay. So look, with that being said again, right. That's why I'm running for Congress. I'm running for Congress because I also want to make sure that we do a better job of providing more money for people who are poor. We need to make sure that we put back. First of all, we need to make sure that we implement the mandate on Medicaid. That's something that's very important. For us to realize, the Trump tax cuts got rid of the individual mandate. So that means 13 million Americans are not going to have access to health care. I'm running for Congress. They also want to get rid of the Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program, the SNAP program. And they want to replace that instead of giving people SNAP benefits or giving people, or what I'm talking about, food stamps. They want to replace that with mailing somebody a piece of food every month or year. That's every month. And that's just outrageous. It's inhumane. We need to invest more in the earned income tax credit and the child care tax credit. We need to invest more in affordable housing. And we also need to do more to invest in the Corporation of National Service, National Public Service, Social Innovation Fund, so that local units of government can be able to use those things to use money from the federal government in order to impose anti-poverty fighting measures. That's what we need to start doing. That's what we need to be about. And we're not. We need to raise the minimum wage to $15. Because it's a shame in America where you got to work 2 or 3 jobs just to make ends meet. We got another caller? Okay. I mean, this is just wrong. What is the purpose of being in the position of power if you don't use it to serve the powerless? What is the position? What is the purpose of being in the position of having jobs if you don't give it to the jobless? Or having water if you don't give it to the thirsty? We can do better than this. We got a caller. Call you on the air. What's the young effect? Quickly, caller. I only got like 2 minutes.
I love you, and I love your father for giving me my first job. You understand? And God is going to be behind us. And you keep fighting. You understand?
Yes, ma'am.
The dream didn't die. The dream didn't die. We're still fighting. I'm fighting right here, baby.
Love you. Thank you.
I love you more and your father, and I still love him.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Who is this? Is this my BFF?
No, I just began to love Coleman just like my grandmother did.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. I thought
he's
this
the only one
else.
gave me a job.
I love you.
I love you more. Keep fighting, and you know what? We need it. We got to do this.
Call me next week.
And don't forget, talk to Sean Combs too to get them to help you, because I was behind him when he was telling me to stand behind the city. You hear me?
Yes, ma'am. I will.
We need more black people that's in power. They're in power. Their votes move because they're on the internet. They're doing things. They are our black people. Grab them, baby, and let them know. And I'll stand behind you because he told me to come to y'all, and I've been there ever since.
Most certainly will.
Sharon Marcel and the rest of them. Love you.
Love you too. Bye now. Is that it? Okay. Nobody cares how much you know till you know how much you care. I need you to call this number, 313-675-7960. That's for petitions, 313-675-7960, 313-675-7960, 313-675-7960. Ready the petitions, okay? Love you. God bless you. Nobody cares how much you know. So you know how much you care. I'm your state senator, soon to be your next congressman, Coleman Alexander Young. We'll see you next time right here on The Young Effect.